So the big bad that has been hinted at for about 18 films now is finally here. As Thanos has arrived, he's going all over trying to reclaim his Infinity Gems or Infinity Stones, whichever one you call it. And of course, the only thing standing between the world, the galaxy, and total annihilation are the Avengers. So here we are with Infinity War. And what's here to say, guys, but this is a fantastic movie. Marvel has another win. Infinity War, it's it's like the longest film so far, I think, in the franchise. I think this one is like 2 hours 45 minutes long. It's one of those movies I'm gonna have to see multiple times to really decide how I feel about it. But as of right now, I love this movie. So let's get into it. First of all, on a visual scale, this movie feels as massive as it is, you know, because we're covering every Avenger, I think starting from like Incredible Hulk, come right forward to Black Panther. We're covering them all. Everybody has to have screen time. And I think they do a really good job of balancing that most of the times. But visually, this movie looks amazing. It's shot with IMAX cameras, so it's meant to be seen on that massive screen, that massive scale. The score, of course, is what we expect it to be from an Avengers movie. It's everything. It's emotional. It pulls at you. I always say a great score is a score that doesn't overwhelm. And one of my absolute favorite things about this movie was how the music would transition depending on who the hero was that was on screen. So we got our introductions. We got our Guardians of the Galaxy. We know what kind of music they listen to. When, of course, it's hinted at that we have to go to Wakanda, we get that Black Panther theme kicking in, and it hypes you up because you get excited to see that hero or maybe your favorite hero as they appear on screen. So I really love the visuals of this movie. One of my favorite scenes was the action sequence, the fight sequence between, I should say, Doctor Strange, Thanos, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that fight sequence, it reminded me of the first one in Avengers where they would jump in and out where they're fighting the Chitauri, and you would have a hero would jump in and then leave, and then another one would come in and they would combine their abilities. That, for me, that fight sequence was when I got most hyped about what I was seeing. I loved that entire sequence. I thought it was perfectly done. But it wasn't the only visually stunning thing out there. This movie has a lot of gorgeous moments in it and a lot of scene detail. You're going to have to watch it again to really pick up on everything and every Easter egg. I'm very happy to say I like Thanos' final look, his final design. The coloring, I was a bit worried when we first saw his coloring. I thought he was going to look like a washed out grape. But I think they found a good balance with old testicle face there. I think he looked really good. And getting into the characters and the acting, Marvel has given us another compelling villain. I mean, they've built to this. They've basically been weaning us on what to expect, I think, from previous films. Because starting with Loki, of course, being his charming self. But when you look at it, for me, it's like from Voltaire, Michael Keaton's Voltaire, we got a villain where we could sympathize with where he was coming from. He's fighting for family. With Killmonger, we got a villain that was fighting for his people. And here we have Thanos, a villain who is basically an eco-terrorist, without getting into too much detail. So while I do agree he is the Mad Titan, I totally get where he's coming from. Because I've actually had these kind of discussions with friends, you know, so not getting too into it. I do want to touch on some spoilers later on, but I promise to warn you guys before I do so. So yeah, I thought Brolin managed to emote through all of that technology and what is it? What do you call it? Facial motion capture. You know, I thought he did a fantastic job. He made me feel the feels when I needed to. He made me laugh when I needed to. I think the humor here is also well balanced because, again, the scales have been, wow, you know, everything has been upped. And again, they've been preparing us for this because every Marvel movie has gotten a little more serious. Things get a little more dire with every Avengers film. And we see that with our heroes, you know. I love that aspect of it as well. When Captain America is introduced, if you remember what Cap was like from the first Captain America movie to what you see in front of you now, which by the way is, oh, he's so gorgeous. Oh my god, that beard. moving on, I promise. Yeah, but you see the growth with these characters, and I love that. Everybody had certain things have happened, and it's changed the way they react to certain things now. We even get growth with Tony. So yeah, I really enjoy that. I think everybody handled their parts well. Everybody know these parts now. I think it's a part of their personality now. So it's easy to connect with your favorite heroes in a very flawless, seamless manner in this film. What else is there, guys? But for me, to get into the negatives a little bit, the CG I found was a bit weak in places. It got a bit shoddy. It got a little wonky. I could make it out really clearly. I'm hoping in the future Marvel will go practical. I think they can afford to go practical. I know they can't do it for everything, obviously. But for instance, little tiny little thing, the Hulkbuster and who's inside it, I didn't like how that looked. The massive fight scene in Wakanda just seemed really CG heavy. And like I said, it worked in most places, but it got wonky in some. Another aspect of this movie where I felt they struggled. Granted, overall it's a success. The cohesiveness of all the different plot lines coming together, there was some strain at the seams in certain parts. The whole side plot with Thor and the Guardians, for instance, I thought that went on a bit too long. It didn't have to be that long. I love Chris Hemsworth. I love his take on Thor. I loved the entire him and Raccoon stuff. I'm not gonna get into it, but it was fantastic. I wouldn't mind seeing Thor lead the Guardians of the Galaxy at this point. But all that said, it went on a bit too long. So the movie does struggle a bit because it's such a massive film. I mean, the fact that they pull this off is to be applauded. But it does strain here and there, you know. And because of that, it's not as flawless as I would have hoped for. But overall, guys, what is there to say? But Infinity War is a win. Maybe when we look at it again, you'll see things that you may like less or like more. This is what has happened to me in rewatching the films. I have some of these films, I'm just like, wow, it's still fantastic. It's still the best thing ever. And then some of them, I feel like they've lagged behind and they're not as rewatchable as you know, that you thought, oh wow, I really love this the first time around, but now not so much. But Infinity is definitely a win for Marvel, and at this point in time I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I love this villain, I love the drama, I love the action, I love the story, and that third act, holy shit, Marvel gets a lot of props for doing what they did with that ending. I think it took some balls, but it also took faith in the fans. I know they will deliver. And, you know, they warned us. They've been warning us that it was going to get hard. It was going to get heavy. And they delivered on that. So for me, it's an 8.5 out of 10. And that's going to be it for Infinity War, guys. And I said I would get into spoilers, but I am going to do a spoiler. I'm going to be guest appearing on a podcast called Bears, Beats and Baileys. The channel on YouTube is known as Was the Scene. I will link to that channel, and we're going to do a whole spoiler thing there. So I'm not going to get into too much spoilers here, other than to say I have my theories as to the part Gamora plays. I have my theories on what Doctor Strange may have seen. See, I promise no heavy spoilers, because I know a lot of people still have to see it. I have my theories here and there on what's going on with Thanos and those gems and where he ends up at the end of this film, but I don't want to get into it too much here. So I promised to link towards the scene, and as soon as that podcast is up, it should be later this week, you guys can get our in-depth take on what we thought about this movie. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please feel free to hit the like button. It's much appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face over there. I'm also on Stardust, Movie Junkie, capital M, capital J. And it's a really fun app, guys. If you want to use it, I highly recommend it, because it takes all the work out of this. I have to go and edit this thing now. You just have to post it using your camera and it's instantly there. So have fun with that. And until next time, guys. Bye bye.